This video will tell you something really important that your teachers, your parents are probably not even gonna say in the future. Some people that are watching this, or 90%, I don't know, treat school like their life depends on it. And maybe if you're want to become a doctor, lawyer, police officer, then maybe you do need a degree, because you need a degree in doctor stuff, because if you don't have a good grade for something that is related to medical school, then you would be able to become a doctor. But if your job involves something like entrepreneur, graphic design, or content creation, then why do you worry about getting low grades on your history test or your math test or any other subject that doesn't even make sense for the jobs that you want to do? Maybe if you want to become a doctor, lawyer, or jobs that need a degree, then maybe school matters at those moments. But for other jobs like graphic design, entrepreneur, content creation, you don't need to have high grades to do those jobs, Because if you think about it, school is destroying your mental health because you always stress about and always worry about getting low grades. And because of that, it's destroying your mental health because your brain thinks that tests and school exams are equivalent to losing a loved one, even though those are two separate things. So, to the people that are worried about getting a low grade and not figuring out in life, if your job is something that doesn't need a degree like entrepreneur or graphic design or content creation or basically other stuff that don't even need to have school in it, then you need to stop worrying, because it's not like when you grow up and become an adult, people are gonna ask you what grade that one time you got a really low grade in your math test, or that really one time where you got a really low grade on your history test. No one is gonna care about that when you're an adult. No one is gonna care about it. So please, man, just don't be stressed about school too much. And maybe you have to learn at some point, but it isn't it's that important, Because the thing is that parents nowadays, they just think that you need school for everything, no matter what job you have. But if it's you want to go to a professional school instead of high school so you could get the job you really want to, that's what I plan on doing after 9th grade. Just do it, man, because when you follow something that is your dream instead of trying to do tests or exams that will not depend on your life that much, it won't even work, because those high grades you get in exams, they're not gonna do anything, man. If not, because you know how a lot of people nowadays stress over getting a 90% on a test, and because they wanted to get 100. Bro, 95% is enough for you. If not, having a 95% is actually such a smart thing to do. But because people have mental problems about school and cry about it, they think that just because they fail at something that involves school, that means that they will apparently not get a good job. But a lot of jobs like entrepreneur, content creation, graphic design, those don't involve your grades or something. As long as you're good with your computers and editing and Photoshop and other stuff, then you could do graphic design if you're capable of it. Because I do content creation and I edit videos, obviously, and because of that, I am capable to do graphic design, because I have a course with this company named Tumo, and I work there, and one of those subjects there are like graphic design. And the thing is that the work that they give you there, it's like so easy, because the thing is that they don't force you to be there, and it's optional, which what makes it better. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm following my own dream. So if you notice me getting a low grade, it's not because I'm like not want to learn anything or don't study anything. It's just that it's something that I find really hard to understand. And focusing on it too much, it's just gonna make things 10 times worse for me. If not 100 times worse for me. Because, you're gonna stress about your grades, you're gonna stress about your mental health, and it's just gonna make your thought worse when you grow up. So, to any people out there, if you're like a really smart person during class, and you want to get like a really high grade, make sure you know the job you want to have first. Find what you're capable of. And if that thing that you're capable of involves a job, then you have to think about if that job needs to have like a high scholarship or a low scholarship. Then you could decide if you want to really become good in students in grades in school. Because focusing on it without figuring out your life is just gonna make things worse. Just because I'm autistic and I don't know and I have a learning disability doesn't mean that I am dumb as fuck. Because people that know how to edit videos, that know how to edit YouTube videos, isn't something stupid. Because just because someone gets a really low grade and they're focusing on their own work, that's what actually makes them smarter. Because focusing on something that you like is very smart. But focusing on stuff that involves just school and it isn't guaranteed to help you with anything, that's what actually makes you dumber. Because you have to be yourself. And it doesn't matter what your parents say, because parents just say that so they could have a better kid. But that's because in the past, older generations, getting a job was easier, So, getting a high scholarship back then, it could depend on you a lot, because most parents nowadays have stereotypical jobs, or just jobs that they got because of their high degree. But if your job doesn't evolve around them, then you don't need to be exactly just like them, because God made everyone special in their own way, and it's your choice if you want to focus on school, not your parents, not your siblings, not your friends' choices. It's entirely up to you, because if you try to focus on things you don't like, that stress you a lot, and you get bad mental health because of this, just don't focus on it. Because if you focus on things that isn't guaranteed to make you smart, quote unquote smart, to get a good job, even though that isn't guaranteed, just be yourself. It isn't school is gonna send you to hell. It's not like you're gonna go to hell if you don't go to school and you don't do enough work for school. Because most people, the reason they go to school is to communicate and socialize with friends, other stuff. Not because they want to learn, but because they want friends. That's why I still go to school, even though I hate school, but I don't hate it because of the people there, even though I do hate it sometimes because of, bullying and rage bait, other stuff. But if it involves something like learning during school, then yeah, you will hate school for that reason. So to anyone who's watching this, if you're working really hard to become smart and you still haven't figured out your future job, be careful first and look at things that you're capable of that require to be a job in the future. And if you find something that is capable and that thing doesn't involve getting a good scholarship, then focusing on school isn't even that important. It's optional, it's entirely up to you, and focusing on school, something that isn't guaranteed to fix your life, just focus on things that you are capable of, your own work, your own passion, because that's what makes you smarter. Not because, oh, I got a 100% on my chemistry test. Oh, I got a 100 on my math test. Just because you get a good grade doesn't mean you're smart. Maybe you'll be smart. That will only last for a week. That energy that you have will only last for a week. So just don't focus on school that much. You could work on school if you want to learn things, but don't focus on it too much. Because once you do, when you grow up, you won't have enough socializing with friends. You wouldn't know how to talk much. So that's why this is for your own good. You just don't focus on school that much, Because school sucks. It was made only for people that want to get a good degree and a good job like a doctor, lawyer, etc., etc., etc. But if you're a kid that wants to get a job, and that job isn't something that involves a scholarship, don't focus on school that much, because it's just gonna affect your mental health in a way that will make you ignore your dream and passions, and it will just make you sad for the rest of your life. So everyone, that's basically it. Don't think that school is gonna carry on your entire life, because there are a lot of jobs people get even without high grades. And I want you to understand that. Goodbye.